Our financial system had a stroke. The government injected it with a bunch of money to help stimulate it. We can't just do that alone, in my opinion. We need to get people back to work so we can functionally move the money, the blood of our economy, through its system. If the longer we wait, the longer it's going to be if we can even bring back the financial system properly. In an inflationary period, the cost of an item will go up, not because of demand, but because of the devaluation of the currency. So meaning, as the American government and all governments across the globe increase the amount of fiat currency, it devalues the value of that dollar and causes it to be worth less. So for example, the example always was that Hershey's bar. And that Hershey's bar, when I was younger, everyone would say, oh, it was 5 cents. The old people said it was 5 cents back in the day. And when I was younger, the cost of the Hershey's bar was 50 cents. And they thought, wow, that is such a significant increase. You know, it's worth 10 times as much. The reality is it's not the cost of the cocoa bean, right, that went up. The issue is that the American dollar, the fiat currency that we have, and if you read the fiat currency, it's called a note, right? It's a loan. The amount of dollars they printed were so many that now there's so many dollars in circulation that each dollar is worth less. The purchasing power of the dollar diminishes. So even though we still have the same dollar, that dollar can't buy as much as it did. Today, you can't buy a chocolate bar for 50 cents. Right now, you're buying a chocolate bar for $1.69. The same chocolate bar that we would be able to buy when I was a kid. We're talking about 20 years later. This went up 300%. So this is because of inflation. Inflation is caused by the devaluation of our currency and would require more dollars to buy the same cocoa bean chocolate bar. The issue with this is that this is causing a greater divide between the rich and the poor. So what's included in CPI? CPI includes food, beverages, clothes, education, communication, auto, transportation, insurance, gas, education, and a few other items. Some of the items not included in CPI is stocks, bonds, real estate, investment vehicles, life insurance. So now when we look at CPI, we're going to look at the current June of 2021. June 2021, the CPI was 5.4% average for the last 12 months. That's a significant increase, where the month of June alone had a 0.9 increase. If you compile that over a 12-month period, you're looking at almost 12% increase in the CPI. And that ignores real estate pricing and asset prices going up. So earlier we mentioned how June of 2021, the CPI was 5.4%. Now, some economists are estimating that's a conservative figure. Some are estimating as high as 12%. Because certain factors aren't included in the CPI. As I mentioned earlier, housing is not included, where housing has had a significant increase year over year, home sales and homes for rent. We have a significant demand for housing and other items. Now, recently what we've gone through and why I believe we're going to go through a hyperinflationary period is because two factors. One factor is going to be a natural side effect of what happened. The government around the world shut down the economy. Places of business were closed, people had to stay home, there wasn't production, so there's a lack of items out there. There was many people staying home and being compensated while staying home. Now they're looking to spend the money that they saved and to kind of use up some of their pent-up demand. The reality is everyone was at home and they want to go out, they want to have a good time. They want to go to the malls again and spend their money. This hyperinflationary period is one, because we have a lot of money, so it's going to cause a lot of demand. But the hyperinflationary period cannot really come from that alone. It's going to come from the fact that because people are at home, they were not out working and building items. They were not creating something into the system where it could be purchased. So now we have a limited amount of supply. That supply is going to cause demand. That lack of supply will cause increased prices when the demand returns. Now, when we have this demand for goods, prices are getting bid up. The issue we're going to run into is that we're going to run out of supplies. Since people are at home and they aren't returning to work, still, many people are at home and not returning to work, it's causing a lot of spending without production, making it very unhealthy in our economy. We're going to come into a scenario where we're going to run out of goods and the cost of goods are going to go up, which I believe we're going to go from this hyperinflationary period into a period of stagflation. What is stagflation? Like, we're going to say clothes for sale. And these items are going to say, for example, be worth $10 for a shirt. And normally a company will sell 1,000 shirts and they'll produce $10,000. And with this 1,000 shirts, they have 10 employees. And these 10 employees get paid $9,000. So the profit of the owner will be $1,000. Employees got paid $9,000. In a stagflationary period, we're going to have something where the price of the item is going up to $12 for the shirt. Only 800 shirts are going to be produced. So now we're at $9,600 in income. It's almost the same as prior year. We only have 8 employees working, and these 8 employees only make $8,000. Now we're going to see this $1,600 profit from the company, and we're going to say things are going great, economy's going great, businesses are making money. The issue comes to is that the people are going to be making the same amount of money, paying more for the same item, and will fall into a stagflationary period. The next logical assumption that people make is, since we're in a stagflationary period and less items are produced because we don't have the materials to produce them, and we're charging more because our fixed overhead costs are the same, what we should do is we should increase the income of these individuals to offset the cost of the additional CPI. CPI went up, pay people more money. Well, the issue is if we pay people more money, we now have $12 shirts for $9,600. We have 800 items produced for $8,000 for the 8 employees. But the reality is if we increase this by the amount of inflation, it is not actually $8,000. If we increase their pay 20%, we come into $9,600. The following year, we're going to have companies without profits, causing the price to go up some more, causing the sale amount to go down, number of items sold, causing less employees needed, which then we will ask the employees to produce less employees to produce the same amount of product to help with the cost. Because if everything's becoming more expensive, not only is material harder to get, the cost of the rent is going up, electric, water, sewer, garbage for the company, cost of employees are going up. It eventually comes to the point where the employee is going to be fired and the company is going to still continue to lose more and more money. We then fall into that all of these mom and pop shops that are t-shirt printing, that are restaurants, all of them are going to be closed. And we're going to have huge manufacturers like Amazon that are making sure that people are producing massive amount of work with the highest amount of profits to keep the costs low enough, forcing people having to buy from Amazon so they can afford to continue buying the same amount of product. It's only going to cause it to go a worse downward spiral where we're going to come to a choking point. Our financial system had a stroke. The government injected it with a bunch of money to help stimulate it. We can't just do that alone, in my opinion. We need to get people back to work so we can functionally move the money, the blood of our economy through its system. If the longer we wait, the longer it's going to be if we can even bring back the financial system properly. If you want more content, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. A lot more content coming. We post at least once a week with lots of great financial information to help you build your personal portfolio.